Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Did you get high the first time?
The first time, not really. The second time, it was 4 pieces of pizza. And
yeah. But what, do you remember the first time? Like,
not particularly.
Okay.
I know that, I remember a party we had in my apartment. It was a small apartment, 1 bedroom, but we had an apartment. We had a terrace there at 180 Thompson. And the apartment was filled with other college students from NYU. But there was so much marijuana smoke. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, there's a knock
at the door.
And all of a sudden, we open the door, and there's a policeman there. And everybody goes, and it's like, what? Yes, so, the smoke
what
comes
year
out
is
at
this?
him. This was probably 1967,
right.
68.
Oh, boy.
Later 68.
Right. This is when you can get put away forever.
Okay. However, the smoke goes out into the hallway. Right into his face, it had to.
Right.
And we said, what can we do, officer? Well, he says, well, there's been a complaint that the music's too loud. I said, oh, we'll shut the music right off. And he said, no, that's okay, just lower it. Have a good time, good night. And he left.
Nice.
Now, that was marijuana in 1968, 67, 68, in Greenwich Village.
Right.
And we weren't hassled by the cop.
You know, it's such a peaceful...
Right.
It's drug, and it's a social drug.
Even today, it depends on the police officer that busts you.
Well, yeah.
If you're going to walk away.
It's very true. It's very true. But, so, you know, you're smoking marijuana. You see the need. You see everyone is using 2 pieces
What happened was everyone was putting together the 2 pieces of paper.
I remember that, yeah.
Okay. And I then went to law school down at the University of Miami on a scholarship there.
And then, and wait, can I do your mother? Can I do your mother right now?
If you'd like.
Bert is got a scholarship to Miami. He's in law school.
My brother went to medical school, so I'm still.
Was he's? And what about your sister?
NYU Med.
What about your sister?
Genius Brandeis University.
Oh God, are they both alive?
Yeah, both.
Are you close with them?
No, my sister we were somewhat close, but she's 10 years older than me. Or 9 years older, and my brother is 6 years older. And, and if there's that much of a difference, for instance, in Rochelle, when I went to school, he was already going to high school.
I was like an only child, too.
Right, even though, and then when you get to high school, he was already his last year of college.
He's his own person.
And then they come home from college, you're like, get out of my fucking house, who are you?
So we never played.
Do they live in the East Coast?
No, he moved out to California and has lived there for the past 40 years.
And your sister?
My sister is now in Florida. She lives in Spring Valley.
How would you? Oh, yeah, Spring Valley, very Jewy.
Right near New Jersey, Spring Valley.
Yeah. Paramus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next to.
So you go to law school, you drop out.
I drop out because I didn't want to fight. I decided I didn't want to argue all the time.
Hippie.
It was. I was more hippie in the sense that I did go to Woodstock. I wasn't.
Were your siblings hippie at all, or were they like, "Oh, Bert is, you know what?"
Definitely, had no long. Neither of them had long hair. I had long hair at one time.
Right. Now, how did your mother take this hippie child? How old were you when your father passed away?
I was about 33. Okay. I had already
made
millions and millions and millions.
And your mother, how old were you when she passed away?
I was maybe 55.
Okay.
56.
So what were they thinking? Here's our hippie kid.
My
millions of dollars.
mother. Well, I did a lot of things for them. I bought them a car. I bought a Torah for their temple in honor of. You know what I mean?
I just want to say,
I was a very good son to my parents.
I'm going to do the president of the temple after services, and we have an Oneg Shabbat following services, and we would like to thank Burton Rubin for donating a beautiful
in fact,
Torah.
there was a little more than that. I particularly I didn't show up.
Right.
Because I wanted the praise to go to my parents.
Oh, my.
They organized the fire department and a parade down the main street of Mountain Lodge Park to deliver this Torah to the temple.
Okay, all I have to say is,
so it's like,
did your father ever apologize for "I can't afford you" after you bought him a car?
He probably didn't even think about it.
But I also for 10 years I helped. I made breakfast and lunch for the homeless at Cathedral St. John the Divine.
Oh, right up here on 110th, right across from the Hungarian pastry shop.
Right.
Oh, and V&T Pizza.
But I did work, and I did donate. One cornerstone is from Bert.
Can I tell you how I actually performed in there? But that cathedral,
wow.
And that's the largest cathedral in the world.
It's the largest Gothic cathedral in the world.
In the world, and it's not even finished yet.
Right, exactly.
And it is. It's unbelievable. That is such a work of art.
Place.
Yeah,
yes.
And it's on 110th.
Right, and they do all. It's a venue for all kinds of things every year.
Okay, so
So I go to law school. One of the things I see in law school is that a lot of the kids that went to the university there came from Chicago, or came from Memphis, or came from Austin, or came from other parts of the country. Mm-hmm. And those of us who still smoke marijuana, they all put two leaves together, no matter where they came from.
Two papers.
Two papers. Because
it's so skinny.
Yeah.
Those single papers.
Really hard.
Marijuana has a different consistency than tobacco.
Right.
It needs to burn slower.
And for whatever the purposes and reasons, a wider paper, people were putting two together.
Sure.
You have that.
Right.
You should play that now.
Yes.
For
in fact, do we have it? I want to play it.
Oh, wait. You have the commercial.
Yeah, and I'll drop it in the show.
Okay.
But
I think I may have it too on my phone.
Oh my God!
It's worth for you to hear. It's quite. We won an Emmy, not an Emmy, a Clio Award.
Right.
Which for advertising is advertising's awards.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Easy Wider, the double width rolling paper, knows that by now a lot of people are used to sticking two little pieces of rolling paper together in order to roll a good smoke. And why not? All you do is pull out two leaves of any ordinary paper, then carefully examine each to determine which pieces are striped with glue. Once you know for sure, take one of the papers and place it on the table. Then, holding the second paper with the thumbs and fingers of both hands, bring the paper to your mouth, stick out your tongue, and in one or two smooth strokes, depending on how dry your mouth is at the time, lick the entire end of the paper, preferably the one which contains the glue. Then quickly reach for the paper you placed on the table earlier and carefully affix the underside of the paper which does not contain the glue to the glued end of the paper that you just licked. Be careful to line the papers up correctly before connecting them and try to avoid excessive overlapping. Then all you have to do is wait for them to dry. Of course, now there is another way to do it. Just pull up one Easy Wider double width paper and start to roll. That's it. Easy Wider is double width, so you don't have to stick two papers together. The next time you buy papers, ask for the brown and white pack that says Easy Wider, Easy Wider, Easy Wider.
Okay. Beyond brilliant. And why'd you pick a female voice?
When I was there, they brought the company that did the production.
Right, because it's perfect.
We chose
it's
out of a bunch of voices. We picked this model who happened to have and also a wonderful voice.
Right.
And
a wonderful ass and wonderful tits.
And she was actually a very pretty girl, model, but her voice was just...
it's great.
It's just nice, and...
were you stoned when you picked her?
I don't remember, but this fellow, Art Messing, who was in the production company, he was the one who took... The reason that's not a naturally fast-talking girl. That's somebody who's
Speeding
every word, the front part of the word, like you say, front.
Right.
The f is taken out.
Right.
So all you hear is the staccato part of the word.
So
But
it was done in post-production.
In post-production.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's brilliant.
That's really
And it's fun because you start getting caught up.
And it's like, all right. and it goes faster and faster.
And that's what you do. So, being the first helps to do things.
Right.
Because we were the first ones on the radio with radio advertising.
Right. For papers.
For cigarette papers.
Okay, but were your parents like, oh my God, he's doing the marijuana?
No, my
mother,
she even died thinking that I never smoked marijuana.
Okay, then you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
No, it wasn't mine. I told her I did. She said, I don't believe you.
I actually tried to give my mother when she was dying. She was like, give me whatever. Give it to me. Give it to me.
I understand.
Yeah.
I had friends with cancer
Yeah.
that I brought grass to that would be under chemo. And they give grass and they'd eat peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, I know. Same my friend Judy told. Like, she died of melanoma, but, we had to get her marijuana to eat. A friend of mine, friend of a friend's father has cancer and asked me where they could, and he's, like, so much better. I can't even.
So much better now. They eat, their attitude is better. Everything is so much. It's just,
and
it's just
the thing about it is, it comes from the fucking ground. It comes from the earth. You don't fucking own the earth.
That's one of the reasons why
That's what Pocahontas said.
That's one of the reasons why the pharmaceutical companies and the tobacco companies, etc., are fighting it or against it because it's something
we can
that
just grow it ourselves.
People do and can grow.
Right,
so
and too bad. It's
also it'll promote free thinking. Sorry to interrupt.
Right.
But they don't want that.
Okay,
either.
so here's what I have to say. You work for Shell Oil. You trade specialty metals, international trading, and
at that time, it's when I realized that I knew how to move materials, move things around the world.
And then
the metals trading, where I would, in fact, molybdenum, vanadium, titanium, all these specialty metals that were used in high quality steel production.
Right. So you know how to do this trade, and how to And so you meet your wife's father has a partner in business, and his son and you, Bob Stiller, get together.
We started playing backgammon together.
Right. I love backgammon.
And we were playing tennis.
Are you
together.
good?
Well, he was a New York City backgammon champion, and I beat him all the time.
Oh, good. It's not the most,
No,
it's not chess.
It's fun.
No, that's all I have to say.
No, but it's fun.
It's a very fun game. Okay.
But as a friend said,
do you have to get exact when you're at home base and they're all in home? Don't you have to get the exact roll on the die? Can you move within home on the backgammon? You have all your stuff in your home base. It's the end of the game, and you're rolling the die. You have to get the exact number. If it's on 2...
If you can't get in, then someone else goes. Then
right, but a lot of people are like, oh no, I'm on 2 and I got a 3 so I can go. You know what I mean?
No,
I know. I fucking hate that. All right, wait. So you're with Bob Stiller.
The rules of the game.
Yeah.
But the rules, I must tell you, I have played backgammon in Marrakesh, in Morocco.
Really?
And the rules are different. They're slightly rules. They're,
I have to take out my backgammon. I love playing backgammon.
It's just like, a hamburger is a hamburger, but in different places of the United States, it's different. Pizzeria, you go through Italy, it's 50 times the pizzeria.
Okay, so you're with Bob Stiller, and then there were these places in the village called Delicatessens.
Oh, at the time, there were head shops around the country.
Right.
Those were the people who would only carry the easy water papers.
Right.
Because head shops were stores that had the pipes, had the paraphernalia.
Shops for your head.
Okay, well, shops for your head, and they called them head shops. And there was at least one in every town or city. And there were about 3,000 or 4,000 of those shops, maybe 6,000 or something. And there was a whole distribution system set up for those types of things.
Right.
Sure.
However, the large distribution in America were in all the stores that sold the regular tobacco.
Right.
And it went through
Gas
tobacco
stations.
distribution, be it gas stations, be it the mom and pop store, be it the small grocery,
Right.
just all pharmacies, everybody else. So we made up a specialty package that had 50 packs of Easy Wider and 12 packs of tobacco.
Oh my God!
And
so they buy the tobacco.
Wouldn't you know that the tobacco didn't sell, but they kept selling out of the papers?
That is.
Okay, one
Smart.
fabulous story. We sell this, we start that, and all of a sudden we started getting reorders. Can you just send us the papers? So I developed a nice new package for that, and we ended up selling to Southland. Southland Corporation is 7-Eleven.
Wow.
Okay, so we was down at 7-Eleven, and I.
God, I used to get papers at 7-Eleven.
Right, and I went down to their headquarters in Tyler, Texas, and we're walking around the warehouse, and all of a sudden one of their district managers walks up to me and gives me a big hug. And I look at him and I say, well, thank you for the hug. That was really nice.
But I'm straight. Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, I am. And, but it was just, it wasn't that time.
Yeah.
But I said, what was that for? He says, we make more profit from Easy Wider than we do from Heinz ketchup.
No way.
Nice.
And you were the papers were being made in Spain?
We had factories in Italy, Trieste, Italy, in Barcelona, Spain, and
Is it
also
because of
on
the
26th Street?
Uh-huh.
Eventually we had 4 floors on 26th Street, and then we had a factory about 30,000 square feet.
But why did you go to Spain for the papers?
At the time, Spain was the only company making the manufacturer in Santander.
Right.
Was the only one willing to make the cigarette papers in the size that I needed.
Wow.
And he was the only one who would take a chance, because I had sent him the statistics on showing the growing trend, because of America is a country that those statistics that it keeps on imports can help all its businessmen make a better decision.
Right.
And if you see a market going from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 in a period of 6 years, or in that range, although the numbers may not be the same, you say you have a growing market.
Right.
And so I presented those statistics and the willingness to put up what was referred to as a letter of credit.
Right.
Meaning, with a bank, you put up.
Now, were you ever in these major business meetings stoned?
Sure.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Because I never performed.
Not in Europe.
But
in my office.
Okay.
And it would depend on what.
Right. Okay. So, all right. So here you are. You, and then you end up. Bob kind of screws you over.
Yeah, Bob was. Bob has problems. Had his own problems.
You're so diplomatic. And he gets with some other guy.
I don't judge. The fellow he went with, who happened to be a financial man, subsequently we found out that he embezzled from Easy Wider. Mm-hmm. And then when he joined Bob in Green Mountain Coffee, he embezzled from him in Green Mountain Coffee.
Oh, God. Is he in jail?
No. He's actually probably still writing for some shit publication called Boardroom Reports.
Oh, that's great. I love him. All right, so so you sell the company.
And then I decide to buy a home. I had a nice house in Fire Island,
Mm-hmm.
but I decided to buy a house in Ridgefield, ride horses,
beautiful,
play tennis. It was beautiful, but not. There were 2 Ku Klux Klan up there.
Oh, I know. My town where I grew up, they would have meetings they would have the burning cross, everything. Right. We had swastikas all over our house.
Do you remember the comedian Godfrey Cambridge?
Yes.
He had a house in Ridgefield. They burnt a cross on his lawn.
No way.
On his lawn. This man had a heart condition. I'll give you a heart condition.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was once in synagogue and they started shooting BB guns at the... Yeah, it's bad. And this is New Jersey. I mean, Okay, so you have a child, Jordan, and you're a pothead. And did I want to know, as a mother who were in my house.
Who's upon it?
What do you think are the good parameters with the child? I
would say you are who you are.
Right. Because
I try to let them see who I am.
Right.
I have some secrets, but that's not because they are who they are.
Right.
It's just everybody has.
So when did you?
I'm not unique. That I.
Okay, you have Jordan and another child. No, just Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You're divorced. But when did you let Jordan know, or what was the process of?
He always knew I was smoking pot because he didn't know any other way.
Right. And then did he become a pothead?
You didn't demonize him.
No.
But it's amazing because I hear that a lot.
Jordan doesn't. An interesting example. There's a place in Northern California, just north of San Francisco, called Stinson Beach. Mm-hmm. Stinson Beach is the original hippie community.
Right.
I mean, original.
Right.
Now, Huey Newton and the News.
Yes!
He is from Stinson Beach.
No way.
And he is drug-free completely, and his parents were total flower children.
No way. It's amazing.
You don't know.
It's amazing because
you don't know how they're going to turn.
You see these
your
parents who are drinking. It's not like you smoked pot and were like, get out of here. You're probably, let's do something together.
Yeah, let's roll
and
frisbee.
These parents are alcoholics. They're abusive. They drive.
No, Jordan and I would throw frisbee. We'd play tennis. We would climb, walk mountains.
Right.
Well, as soon as you tell someone who's becoming an adult, you are forbidden to do. As soon as you tell any human being you're forbidden to do something, it's the old Adam and Eve story.
Hello.
That's why legalization is smart.
Okay, so I have certain questions for you that I really want I want to know what you think of. You've invented a lot of things. You've invented a portable telescope. You invented this.
That portable telescope was at Best Buy Consumer Reports.
Yeah.
I make good products.
Yeah.
I'm very proud.
And they're useful, and yet you want, it's like, it's not something, I want to have that. You'll use it. It's not something that you buy and like, I bought that from Sharper Image, isn't it cool? And then after a month, you're like, I'm done with this shit.
These things,
this
I
pen,
get letters all the time about that.
This pen is, I can't even tell you. This Evo pen, you just created some utensils for people with Parkinson's.
Actually, I designed them with one of the clinical occupational therapists at NYU, who sees, or so he said, 5 new patients a day.
Right.
And he was the one. I had shown him this was the time where I was sitting on the bed in the hospital when there was the earthquake.
Right.
And he comes into the room, and I told him about my Easy Wider papers. Mm-hmm. I mean, not Easy Wider, but the Evo pen.
Right.
Because we received a commendation from the Arthritis Foundation.
I was just going to say, you should get honored.
We got a commendation from the we were the first pen to receive a commendation from the Arthritis Foundation.
Can I tell you something? You can ask Lauren. My hands are like, I rub cannabis-based cream on it, and this is
going to make, and for some people who stop writing, it allows them to write again.
Right. Well, I still write, but then I'm in terrible pain. I can't turn the shower on.
I also make them in plastic. They're lightweight.
No, I don't want those.
Okay.
And then,
She's tough.
She's a princess.
You were in Cocaine Anonymous.
Yes.
Were you smoking pot when you were in Cocaine Anonymous? Because you're not allowed to.
I was totally clean.
Cocaine not so anonymous.
Cocaine is a bad drug.
Bad. It's bad.
It brought me to, I was blessed in that I never hurt anybody except myself.
Right.
Okay? For its purposes.
Right.
I hurt myself badly, but I never hurt anybody, or I never intentionally hurt anybody. I was in a position where I could afford it. I didn't have to do anything about it. I did try, and that was, although it was bad, it was an area that brought me into spirituality in life. It was a time when I mentioned before that I worked at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. Doing that makes you humble.
Absolutely.
And appreciative of the fact that you were educated. I mean, things that I took for granted, I became sacred.
Right.
It got me into Buddhism.
Right. Which is it's great.
Yeah, I went to lots of courses, read many books, a lot of study, a lot of time and thinking. So my pattern or road that I took to get where I am, I didn't plan for sure.
Do you have like an office now where you work out of?
No, I work out of my home. I have a computer right near a window, and I live on a high floor.
Let me tell you, my son needs. I would love for him to be your intern. My older son, I think you would have such a positive effect on him because you're so. He's always thinking of, Mom, what do you think of this? And he's always thinking of inventions. And
you tell him from a person who does it to do one first.
Right, but I would love, if you ever need like an assistant, even for a couple weeks, I'm telling you, if you're working on something, I would love for him to meet you. I think you're just an amazing human being. All right, now, what do you think of these alternative smoking? Now, I know you made a bong, right?
We made an engineer from Polaroid Corporation.
Yes, that's right.
Came to us with a spill-proof water pipe.
Right.
Which we developed because it was water filtration has been known historically as one of the great filters of anything, whether it be marijuana or anything else. And so we built that. Then there was like a pocket model of that.
Right.
A
And then
bubbler, if you will.
And then Bob Stiller offered me, after I just put down all my money on a house, he offered me $1.25 million to buy me out of the company in September. And I said, "You're nuts! I think it's worth a lot more, especially since I was making $500,000 or $600,000 a year." Mm-hmm. And we signed a basic agreement, and in the end, instead of getting 1.2 from 1.25 from him, I ended up with 3.1 from this British company, and he got 3.1.
Let me tell you, I just want to say, Burton, we had an offer, and he waited, and then doubled, tripled the offer.
Right.
And now we have a new tour.
Right. So things have changed.
Now,
and without a business.
Right.
A business gives you a certain amount of a place to go.
Right.
People who...
A community I know. My father died soon after he retired. Yeah. And we looked at photos. My brother was just here, and we were looking at these photos. In 1977, he was at his... so 33, 77, 45th reunion? What is that? 45th reunion.
I can't do math.
Okay. And then there's a picture of him at his 55th reunion.
Right.
And he died 2 years later.
Right, so he's retired.
He had retired in 85. So it's 3 years after he retired. You cannot believe the difference in the way he looks.
Yeah, I think retiring is a mistake.
No, I will never retire.
Good.
Ever. Right, I will never stop doing stand-up, writing, teaching.
Exactly.
Ever.
Yeah.
And I double that. Yeah. I feel the same way.
I have cousins who are like, I'm going to retire. What the fuck do I live?
Right.
All right, so...
Retirement should be just some time to take the time to do what you really want. If anything.
Well, no, to work and travel.
It's work and work, especially in
what you really want.
Unfortunately, in America, talking about things that piss me off, okay? My brother, who I'm not close with at all, is one of the top diabetic specialists in the United States. Mm-hmm. Now, he retired. He's 75. And I said, Alan, why'd you retire?
Alan, that's my brother's name.
With
A-L-A-N?
Exactly. With so much experience and your knowledge.
Yeah.
He wrote the books Diabetes for Dummies, Thyroid for Dummies, and he really is knowledgeable. And I said, well, why don't you just have a practice and take care of 50 people who need some specialty? He said, I'm sorry, I can't. I said, why? He says, the malpractice insurance makes it requirement that he have at least 300 to 500 patients.
That's so fucking... This country is so fucked up.
That's
okay, I'm playing golf with a surgeon, top surgeon from here in New York, from Mount Sinai.
Yeah.
Same thing. I said, how come you wreck golf instead of doing what you love doing? He says, I can't. It's a malpractice.
It's this. The litigiousness is out of control.
Control.
We have this is. I want to know vape pens, bongs, vaporizers.
I'm not that familiar with those things.
What do you?
I smoke in a pipe.
Wooden
a regular
glass?
little pipe. No, an old briar type of pipe.
Right.
I strain it. I have a new aluminum tool that cleans the buds.
Right.
And
shreds them.
Yeah, I have that.
And I never smoked to get stoned.
Right.
I always smoked to get a shit-eating grin.
Right. Right. I love that.
That's
going in our description. Yeah.
Basically, is this a little smile on my face and a little attitude.
And you enjoy and I got to tell you, I write such great jokes. I was a music major. I love music.
Right.
I just saw American in Paris a few months ago, and I had to close my eyes because the music to me overtakes my entire, and I know that piece so well. So I didn't want when MTV came out with videos.
Right.
I was like, no, I have my whole video in my head of that song, and you're not going to fucking change it. You know what I mean?
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
That's what marijuana does. You're like 1,000% there,
I've just, I can't understand why it was devilized so much.
Why do you think
money?
What the side effects?
Well, money is what are the side effects?
These are the
money and free
you're
thinking.
lazy. You're lazy if you smoke pot.
No, you're already
I have to tell you, no, not for me.
I know. I read a whole thing about runners.
I get energized.
Like 50-mile runners, they smoke.
I get enervated.
Here's the thing.
I get more creative, sometimes stupid.
Which is fun.
When I create things on marijuana, I wait till I'm straight before I really act on them.
Do you do sativa, indica? Like, what do you
I prefer
Indica.
an indica.
Indica.
I prefer
an
indica, but I like the different mixes. I grow it.
I'm coming over. I have to say, when I was in LA, and then we'll get to you, Lauren.
Great.
A friend of mine went to a dispensary, medical, has a license or a card, whatever, and got me marijuana for arthritis.
Right.
I would take 2 hits maybe before I went to sleep. Playing tennis. I was hiking. I was never in. I hadn't been in that pain free in I don't know how long.
Right. It allows you to do some things, and it's a relatively innocuous chemical.
Right.
It's not going to make you.
Now you have 3 stents in your heart.
Yeah.
Did the doctor say any of that had to do with marijuana smoking?
No. I'm sure it had to do
with your Marlboro
smoking.
Yeah.
No, but I also have to say that my DNA has it. Mm-hmm. Meaning my grandfather went at 43. Right. My father had a couple.
Right.
My sisters had a.
Of course, right. But it's not from
not at all. I'm very honest with my doctors now, and I tell them that I smoke, etc.
I remember when you couldn't, when I couldn't say to the doctor, you thought you'd get arrested if you said I smoke. Now they're like, do you smoke marijuana? Yes.
Well, it's part of yes.
Yeah. They would rather know.
If a doctor is, your doctor, you want him to have all the pieces of information that he could possibly have, because hiding anything could be something, we're a big ball of chemistry.
Right.
Yep, absolutely.
Lauren, you had something to say?
I did. I was going to say marijuana affects every single person's brain chemistry is different. Weed responds to everyone's chemistry differently. I feel that if you have a predisposition to be lazy already, it could help you become more lazy. I think that not everyone should smoke or consume cannabis if it has these negative effects for you, but you can't project.
Is this a commercial?
You can't project, what you think the effects are going to be onto other people, and then assume to think just because you get paranoid doesn't mean. And wait, one more thing. we are born with CBD receptors in our brain.
Right.
With cannabinoid receptors in our brain. We're actually born with receptors to receive cannabis.
That's why cannabis was chosen.
Yeah, we're born with it.
Yeah, it's
okay. So here's what I actually, when I was in Washington State, went to a dispensary, and I went to two. I went to one, and it was sort of like, yeah, what do you want? Oh, yeah, let's go to it. And I was like, I don't want to buy marijuana from. I want to buy marijuana from someone who I would like to get high with.
Yes,
that's a good gauge.
That's
a good reasonable gauge.
So then we went to another dispensary, and the guy was so helpful and like fun, and I was like, now I have a relationship with you, and that's
they call them bud tenders now.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Bud tenders.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the... Now, when I was in high school, it was like shit, the marijuana.
Seeds and stems.
What do you think of the progression of this?
What you have to understand is that way back when I was with Easy Wider, I was very, very active with NORML, the National...
Oh, right. Yes, I did read that.
Okay.
Love it.
I was very close. In fact, the 18th, I'm going to a memorial service for a man named Frank Fioramonti, who was the assistant director of NORML and director of NORML for New York State.
And if you want to...
passed away.
How old?
Frank was probably 68.
That is not good for the marijuana usage people.
I just want to say...
That's so young.
It had nothing to do with marijuana whatsoever.
If you want to learn more about NORML and the organization, watch a documentary called The Union, free on Netflix. Goes in depth to the beginning. Really good.
Keith Stroup is a good friend of mine.
Right.
And so at that time, there was an annual convention held at the Hyatt Hotel in Washington, D.C. For NORML for 5 days.
The Hyatt Hotel?
Well, it was the Hyatt Hotel.
Oh,
the
Hyatt.
Pritzker family owned the Hyatt.
Right.
And Michael Pritzker at the time was a benefactor to NORML like I was.
Right.
And we'd all come in and we would go and smoke and go to certain restaurants that were NORML friendly.
How great is that when you smoke and go have it?
And we would be with all people who were growing the finest marijuana in America in the hills. I took Jordan on a trip to Winston, Arkansas.
Right.
30 miles out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. Where there's Christ of the Ozarks is standing on the mountain, you know? And they're growing the finest indicas that you could smoke. So I've been used to having those qualities. When any time we would go to what was referred to as the boutique shows, as soon as I would walk in, because I was the Easy Wider man, they'd come out with their finest.
Right.
So I was very lucky in that sense.
Did you know how to roll?
Yeah.
What do you think of these rolling machines now? Like it's like
I roll I really roll well with my hands.
Right. I don't like that's another thing. Like they have the machines.
I like minimizing.
Yeah, same. I'm old fashioned. When you walk in a bodega or a store and you see Easy Widers there,
I smile.
Nice.
Do you ever say
every time?
Do you ever say
never?
And you also Joker is a part of Easy Wider.
Joker was mine also.
Yes, I like Joker.
Was mine. Roach was mine.
Right. Do you remember the ones that had the little metal in it?
Yes.
So that you'd have.
Clip it or.
Oh yeah, so that you could have a
clip, a roach clip. I love Jokers too. I have to say.
Jokers were good. Jokers were actually. By that time, I really knew about the qualities of paper. And Jokers was a really fine, lightweight paper.
Yes.
That left ash. See, they if you smoke a paper and you don't see ash, that means you've consumed it.
Right.
If you smoke a paper and there's still ash,
you haven't
consumed it.
And they still make Joker.
Oh yeah, Joker's a good brand.
Yeah, I love that, and I liked it because I'm a comedian, so I get Joker.
And now, okay. When I sold Easy Wider, we did a volume of about $10 million a year.
Wow.
Now they do about $90 million a year with less unit volume.
Right.
Meaning they don't sell 68 million a year. They only sell 54.
Right.
But they do 90 million in sales.
It's amazing. Are you sad you sold it?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right, good.
No. I mean, I couldn't have done. I've gone to when I was in Morocco that I mentioned before. Mm-hmm. I had gone to Morocco because I had camped in the Sahara Desert for a solar eclipse in Libya.
Of course you did.
Okay, and spent 14 days visiting Libya, Tripoli, Benghazi, the Sahara Desert. I mean, I could tell you the Arabs know how to make tents.
Yeah.
Omar the tent maker knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I couldn't have done, and I can give you a list of things that I've done and you know, I'll give you a business card, which is actually, in terms of what...
Halley's Comet, right?
No, this isn't Halley's Comet.
Oh, I see.
This
the sun.
business card is a business card of what's called the transit of Venus. That's when the planet Venus gets in front of...
Oh, that's so cool.
That's the planet Venus.
So it looks like
the
a
sun
little
is
dot, the sun, and there's a little dot, like a pimple on the sun.
Right. The sun is
That's Venus.
Right. The sun is 1.3 million times.
Oh my God, it's tiny.
The size of the Earth.
I want to squeeze it and see if there's any pus in there.
Of course you do.
I love that. Now, before...
I mean, I couldn't go to those places and do all those things.
Right. If you weren't...
Experience.
Right.
Okay.
If you weren't a pie.
Experience.
All your
You learn from experience.
Yes.
You don't learn from when getting... You don't learn from when you get kissed.
Right.
You learn from when you get smacked.
Right. Or...
Whatever.
What pisses you today in this world? What pisses you off the most?
I think the society learning how to deal with technology. Although I like pornography sometimes, I don't want to hear about somebody's sex life in an elevator.
Sure.
While they're on their cell phone.
I don't want to see a fucking Cialis commercial. I'm sitting with my sons. I have to hear about your fucking erectile dysfunction.
Well, that's the greatest advertisement in the world.
I hate it.
Well, I know you hate it, but from their point of view, what a great lie. I mean, I was thinking of a new product calling it Cialis or Viagra Gold.
Right.
Why? Because you don't have to go to an emergency room for 12 hours.
Right.
Right.
Instead of 4.
Right.
Okay? I have plenty of friends who use these toys.
Right.
Not one of them has ever had anywhere near gone to one of these emergency rooms.
Right.
But for them to say that as
It's
an
like,
advertisement,
whoa, my dick's gonna explode. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's like saying to the guy, oh, man, you're going to have the hardest and longest erection.
Oh, totally.
It might be for years.
Right. So
brilliant.
What do you think?
But would I want my 12-year-old child to see those things? No.
Yeah, and we sit here, and I'm like, why do I have to? There's no dry vagina commercials.
I don't want that.
It's
nor
like
do I want
the
commercials for. Let my doctor be the one who studies my medicine and makes my recommendation.
Right.
Not me searching them out.
Right. And they're fucking ridiculous. They're all animated, and it's fucking stupid. And the entire commercial is the side effects.
Right.
Okay.
This one might kill you as a side effect.
Right. Yeah. Now, the Donald Trump, the GOP, the Bernie Sanders, he's not in the
Bernie
GOP.
Sanders is awesome. Everyone vote for Bernie Sanders.
I like Bernie Sanders. Yeah. He doesn't have the personality. I don't like, as a person that much, Hillary Clinton, although I think she would make a great president.
Right.
And they're two different things. You don't have to like a person for them to be
it's like you
good
were,
at something.
Right, and that's all they do.
I know she's worked her whole life trying to make things better for people.
Right.
She's traveled to 104 countries to learn about different societies and see different things that are going down. Her intentions, it don't matter what her intentions are. Her actions are the things that speak for Hillary Clinton.
Right, I agree. What about Trump as the front runner?
Now, Trump is an asshole.
Right.
Okay? I don't know if you remember the China Club.
Yes.
But I used to go to the China Club right downstairs from the Beacon Theater.
Right.
Okay?
I was just there last night.
Okay.
I was just there performing with Cindy
But
Lauper.
that's where I met Donald Trump twice. Mm-hmm. And when I was going to the China Club, everybody snorted cocaine at the China Club. The only people, I mean, you went there after you go to a dance place.
Right.
You go to the China Club, you drink, and people would snort cocaine.
Because he wanted to hang out longer.
Now, right.
But they said he's never done a drug in his life.
Well, since the political tester said that 72 out of 72 things that he said are lies,
right?
We don't know if we can trust him about that one either.
Right. But he said, his sister said
I didn't inhale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just, it's like this. This country has gone.
I'm sad that the Republicans can't bring out a candidate that I can respect.
Right. A moderate,
somebody
sensible,
that I can respect and say, okay, if he were president, okay. It
wouldn't be the end of the world.
Right now, anybody that they're presenting to me, I'm not happy with either their experience or their manner.
Right. I mean, to a president to imitate a handicapped guy, for a president of the United States, talk about Rosie O'Donnell, like, is that what you want?
Right.
You want a bully? I want my president to not give a shit about Rosie.
Or Gangsta Christie.
Right. Oh, don't even get me started on that.
I have to.
Go ahead.
If you have to understand, you have to give him some room, and I'll tell you why you have to give him room.
Because he's fat. That's why.
No.
Yeah.
If your mother named you Christ,
right? Exactly. Then you think,
what do you?
Yeah.
Well, you got to give him a little bit of break there.
All right.
Christie.
I hate him. Now,
Fatty McFatterson.
But I do like Hillary Clinton.
I do.
And I'd recommend to anybody that they support and eventually vote for her.
Yes, I agree. We always ask every one of our guests this.
Can I ask one thing really quick?
Yes.
Do you think that marijuana was a gateway drug to your cocaine use?
Like milk was a gateway drug to marijuana.
Right. All right. You heard it here first,
I'm
folks.
so sick of that fucking
marijuana is a gateway drug.
It's not a gateway to anything.
Right.
To maybe some smiles.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And Domino's Pizza.
We ask, not Domino's. We live in New York. You don't buy Domino's in New York. You get a fucking handmade fucking Little Italy.
I am high-class white trash. It is delicious, yeah.
Oh, my God. All
right. There are a lot of... We're very lucky. We have a lot of good pizza places.
Yeah, we are lucky.
Here's... we always ask our guests this.
Okay.
Are you on any antidepressants?
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
Yes.
What were you on?
Clonazepam.
Oh, yeah! I've been on that. It's very good for the
Trudy's been on everything.
Yeah.
And anxiety.
Yeah, but it makes me a bit too sleepy.
Yeah, you're supposed to go to sleep with that.
Yeah. So I guess that would be...
all right, but none. It's just the...
marijuana.
Yeah.
And jelly?
What?
I really believe when I started smoking,
I did.
It was a medical. It was for, like I was medicating myself. And I do believe I want to get off all my...
Well,
yeah,
I think,
I can't.
When I have done my travels, it's not unique that Americans are using a substance to change their reality.
Right.
This has gone on only since the beginning of time.
Right.
Sure. It's part of humanity.
It's part of humanity.
Part of living.
Yeah.
Right.
And so there may be some Mormons that don't,
Well, they don't drink coffee or eat chocolate either.
So, right.
Yeah,
so,
but they're trying to change their chemistry with, repetition and
I don't
music.
There's different, Mitt Romney's a nice man. I wish him the best.
Yeah.
He's a Republican I could possibly vote for.
Okay,
actually.
you have to leave now. Ugh, he annoys the shit.
Yeah, he's annoying, but I think he's a good man, and I think he has some experience, and running the Olympics and doing things like that
All
are
right,
real.
we're done with the politics now that you've mentioned Mitt fucking Romney.
His name rhymes with...
Shit Romney?
Yeah.
It was Abraham Lincoln who was the one who made the proclamation for Thanksgiving.
Ah, yes, I did know that.
And so that proclamation was the bringing together of peoples.
Right.
And that's what America is.
Yes.
And we've been very blessed.
Right.
My grandmother in 2018, it will be my grandfather's, the anniversary of 100 years of him becoming an American citizen.
Wow.
And my grandmother was in that city in Ukraine where they're currently having the war.
Right.
And she hid in a hay wagon that was pitchforked by the Russian army
Oh
at
my
the time.
God.
And got out.
Wow.
And I thank my grandmother for that.
Wow.
Because again, we're in the right place at the right time.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
I just want to thank you for being. I mean, I could talk to you all night long.
This might be a double.
Yeah, I
double
have a
headed
piano
show.
lesson, so
It's
I
a slow burner.
But
Thank you. I'm glad you feel it.
oh my
It was
God,
nice.
I want my son to live with you.
It was nice to chat.
I want to live
Oh
with
my
you.
God, you're the best. You really are.
Yeah, this was
You're
a pleasure.
Like a great person.
We'll have to have him
Can
on
we
again.
hang out or no? You're too busy with all your.
I asked him that when we first met. I'm like, can we chill and smoke
And
a blunt?
he said
one?
no.
No, he said yes. That might be
Come
fun.
on, Bert.
Yes, you never know.
What do you mean you never know?
Come on,
so
Bert.
you didn't meet me and go, oh my God, I got to hang out with her.
Hey, Judy or me? Judy or me? Who do you want to hang
I
out
don't
with
make
more?
choices in life.
Yeah. Especially with,
With
women
what?
and a guy, woman.
Yeah. I'm
Ish.
No.
Yeah, whatever.
Great. Thanks.
Anyway,
Thanks.
thank you so much.
Well, thank you for inviting me. And,
It's a pleasure.
You rock.
Have a real good Sunday.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go buy some jokers. All right, everyone. So long!
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.